Alright, what's up guys? It's Up Top Z once again. I hope you are all having a good day. I know I am. In today's video, we're going to cover something more or less overlooked, unspoken of, and less discussed topic of the far left slash alt left pipeline. Or whatever the hell you want to call it. You know, the one that starts with, we just want free healthcare, bro. And then ends with you defending gulags as if it were some sort of personality trait. And yeah, as a dissident right-winger myself, I am absolutely going to call cap on the holy grail of midway discourse that is the so-called alt-right pipeline. You know, that pseudo-intellectual boogeyman that the anti-bad guy squad loves to scream about while they radicalize Zoomers faster than a TikTok algorithm on espresso. Morally superior? Please, these folks act like they're fighting Nazis but simp for every failed socialist experiment since 1917. Anyways, let's get into the bullshit. No joke, no scam. Also, quick disclaimer, this isn't going to be in any particular order, so bear with me please. The first stage of the far left and alt left pipeline is Reddit. Perhaps you start out innocent enough, you're scrolling on r/memes, maybe you're going to r/ask Reddit, asking around who else hates their boss, because, we all do at some point. Maybe you reply to a comment or two, and the next thing you know, you're on r/anti-work, and then r/late stage capitalism. Doom scrolling billionaires bad infographics as if they were made by some commie with Canva and an untreated anxiety problem. Before you know it, every single one of your problems is because of late stage capitalism. Your rent, capitalism. Can't get a date, capitalism. Stub your toe, systemic oppression. Like, bro, we get it. It's the algorithm that gently holds your hand and says, hey, king, have you considered revolution? And then comes bread soup, the ultimate gateway. You know, those fancy video essays with sick production value, moody lighting, and philosophers who sound smart until you realize they're just reading off of a Wikipedia article with better B-roll footage. I'm talking ContraPoints, HB Bomber Guy, or whatever the fuck his name is, Philosophy Tube, Second Thought, all of those haha on the alt-right, and somehow every debate ends with, actually, authoritarianism is based if we do it. It's giving, I'm not like other girls, I'm a socialist with eyeliner. They mock the so-called alt-right pipeline while speedrunning you from liberal to critical support for whatever dictator is trending this week. But none of those guys compared to Hassan Piker, the ultimate Twitch king, the Twitch lord, the Twitch god. Actually, as a matter of fact, that's a bit of an understatement. He practically has Twitch in his back pocket. Let's be real here, folks. Dude is literally out here with his setup that costs more than people's rent. LARPing as a working class hero while pulling in the fat stacks. Eat the rich, he says, all from his gaming chair that is funded by his literal simps. 1 minute, it's just tax the billionaires, bro. Next, it's full Marxist rants and glazing certain international resistance movements. That's a classic pipeline start. Start with the gamer socialism, end up tanky adjacent. No notes, just vibes and copium. Oh, but I'm not done yet, folks. Because you see, if you're a young adult right now and you're thinking about going to college, you might want to rethink again, because here's how it's going to play out. Freshman year, introduction to woke studies. By sophomore year, you're unironically calling everything problematic, occupying the quad for the 5th time this semester, and quoting literal Mao. Tuition, $60K a year to learn that America is bad, but somehow the ideology that killed 100 million people and counting? Not real socialism, bro. These places aren't teaching critical thinking because they're just manufacturing activists who can't define what a woman is and will die on a hill for every letter in the alphabet mafia. Speaking of which, I want to get into the next segment of this video, and that's Zohran Mamdani and the rise of the DSA, or the Democratic Socialists of America. A literal organization of people who can't stop saying the word socialists while cosplaying as moderates. We're not communists, they say, while their whole platform is public ownership of everything, defund the police on steroids, and tax the rich until the golden goose is cooked. Literally, Mamdani is running New York City as if it was a socialist experiment. Actually, matter of fact, it's his own little socialist experiment, because you have the rent freezes, the free everything stuff funded by magic money trees. Yeah, how has that worked historically? First of all, Venezuela says hi, but nah, this time it's going to be different because they have better hashtags and a diverse leadership. To put it simply, the DSA's bag of goods is straight false advertising, affordable utopia for the working class, delivered by trust fund activists who think seizing the means of production means nationalizing your DoorDash order. It's peak clown world. Look, the quote-unquote alt-right pipeline was real for like fucking 5 minutes in 2016, but the alt-left one, it's on steroids, it's mainstream, and it's funded by your tax dollars through universities and NGOs. They mock you for noticing patterns while radicalizing an entire generation into hating their own country. Real talk though, I think Malcolm X is probably sitting up there somewhere, fully vindicated and shaking his head because he called this shit out decades ago. White liberals, or I guess nowadays progressives, democratic socialists as we just discussed, and full-blown communists are the most dangerous things in the West, specifically in America. We just want healthcare, bro. We just want affordable housing, bro. Sounds innocent, right? It's the ultimate bait and switch. Lure in the vulnerable with false promises of utopia, then slide in the full control package. It's not fascism when we do it, because they rebranded authoritarianism as equity. Malcolm said the liberal is the more deceitful than the conservative because they pretend to be your friend while using you as a pawn. Fast forward to today, it's the same script, different font. Every time a DSA type gets power, suddenly democratic means we'll vote until we win and then never let you vote again.